Hi, hello, and welcome back, everybody, to Wolf Tales. Last time we had a snowball fight with Fudiyu, and we returned home, or upon returning home, Fudiyu and I are greeted by the delicious smell of home cooking. Awaiting us in the kitchen is Mirari, who seems to have just finished cooking as we return. Without wasting any time, Mirari greets the two of us, places 3 bowls on the table, and invites us over to eat. This is so good, says Fudiyu. Nothing like a hot meal after playing around in the snow. Playing around, asked Mirari. I thought the two of you were just going to check the terrain. No, I wasn't exactly playing, says Fudiyu. It was more like a grudge match? A grudge match, Mirari asks. Between whom? Relax, Mirari. That's just Fudiyu acting tough, I say. We were just having a snowball fight. That's enough out of you, says Fudiyu. Fudiyu covers my mouth in a fluster. Unfortunately for Fudiyu, she's already too late. A snowball fight, asked Mirari. Oh, how marvelous. Oh, I wish I could have joined you, she says. I pull Fudiyu's hands away from my mouth and smile wearily at Mirari. Sorry, I say. We didn't mean to go off and have fun without you. Oh no, Mirari says, I'm not blaming you. In fact, I'm pleased to see that the two of you are getting along so well. Getting along, asked Fudiyu. Who's getting along? I was simply defending my honor, that's all. You were getting your ass kicked, I correct her. Says the grown man who was begging for mercy, Fudiyu retorts. What? Blech, says Fudiyu. Fudiyu sticks out her tongue towards me and then returns to eating her lunch. Sighing in defeat, I pick up my fork and start to do the same. After taking a few bites, I realize that I'm being watched. As I raise my head, I find that Mirari still isn't eating. Instead, she is simply watching me eat with a satisfied look on her face. Aren't you going to eat as well, I ask. It can't be that interesting just to watch us eat. Oh, but it is, says Mirari. It brings me great joy to watch others enjoy my cooking. Is that right, I ask. Do you cook for others often? No, I'm afraid not, says Mirari. I've been practicing for years, but it's rare for me to get the chance to feed anyone else, Mirari says. Oh, right, I say. You said something about undergoing training before. But if you never get the opportunity to put your skills to use, then what's the point in training? I ask her. Well, they will be put to use, says Mirari slowly. Really? When will that? I immediately get cut off. Seconds, Fudiyu screams. Before I can finish speaking, Fudiyu thrusts her bowl between Mirari and I. As I glance at the bowl, I realize that there is still a small amount of food left on the bottom, and Fudiyu is chewing as she speaks. Oh, yes, right away, says Mirari. Gosh, Fudiyu, you're never full, are you? Nope, Fudiyu says. I need all of the energy I can get in order to do my job. So feed me well, princess. It's for our own benefit. Of course, says Mirari. I'll get right on that. Watching the conveniently timed interaction between the two, I realized that Mirari doesn't want to talk about the subject we were discussing any further. And for my part, I am happy to drop the matter. I don't need to know every aspect of these girls' lives. If there are anything they don't want to tell me, that's perfectly fine. As long as the three of us can get along together, then the finer details can be happily forgotten. Shortly after the girls and I finish eating lunch, I sit down with the two of them and face them with a serious look on my face. For all of my optimistic thoughts about the three of us getting along without sweating the details, there's one matter which we still must discuss. Alright, girls, it's time to talk about our plan. Our plan for what? Asks Fudiyu. Both wolf girls tilt their head in unison at my vague question. Your plan to go home, I say. It may not be possible to get through right now, but you're going to need some kind of idea on how to get back home, I say. I mean, I won't tell you to get out right this minute, but surely you aren't planning on staying here forever. Of course not, Fudiyu says. Who would want to stay in this human cabin? Rest assured, princess, I'll find a way to get us back home in no time. Is it really necessary for us to go back? Mirari asks. Let's see, says Furyu. I only know the one path over to this side of the mountain, but there are sure to be others. I guess I should start going out and scouting for a little while each day and familiarize myself with the area, Furyu says. Human, how well do you know this area? A week ago, I say. I would have said I knew it well, but after the weather we've had recently, I can't really say. Mirari doesn't speak again. So the human is useless as expected, says Furyu. I guess it's up to me after all. You're really quite a rude little girl, you know that? I asked Furyu. Paying no mind to Mirari's sullen mood, Furyu and I continue to talk about the landscape surrounding us and possible paths back to the girl's den. Unfortunately, our talk is for naught. With so much having changed in such a short period of time, my knowledge of the area is useless, and so is my map. For the time being, all we can do is sit tight. As night rolls around, I decide that it's time to take a bath. Thankfully, while drinking water isn't exactly abundant out here, there is no shortage of water suitable for bathing. Grab some snow, wait for it to melt, filter it, and you'll have a cold shower. Alright, I'm going for a bath, I inform the girls. Don't do anything bad while I'm busy bathing. What are you accusing us of? Asks Furyu. Just go and clean yourself already, smelly human. Well, I can't say that I didn't ask for that. Having grabbed a change of clothes and a towel, I head into the bathroom. I run the water for a few seconds in order to give it time to warm up. While it's doing that, I strip down and prepare to enter the bathtub. A warm bath in the middle of a frozen wasteland, I think to myself. As far as guilty pleasures go, this one is hard to beat. I sink into the bathtub and let out a deep sigh as the water slowly covers more and more of my body. Once the water is up to my chest, I turn off the tap and lay back. Come to think of it, I wonder if the wolf girls use baths like this. Mirari seems to know her way around the house, so it wouldn't surprise me if she did. Furyu, on the other hand, I could totally see herself licking clean in the middle of the living room. No, don't picture that. Don't picture either of those things, I say. I think to myself. Those girls are guests in this house, and I cannot be thinking of them in that way. My expression falls as I think about the girls' situation. While I'm willing to let them stay with me, if it's just for a little while, I can understand that I'm ultimately doing them no favors. If I kick them out now, they'll likely freeze to death or die of starvation. But if I let them stay too long, then they'll wind up getting used to life here, and they'll become unable to rejoin their pack. This is a surprisingly delicate matter. Squeak. Before I can sink too deeply into my own thoughts, an unexpected sound reached my ears. As I turn to see what caused the disturbance, what I find is... Oh, well, hello there. Mirari, I ask? Mirari averts her gaze as she walks towards me, clad in nothing but a towel. Instinctively, I turn away. However, as Mirari draws closer, I find myself stealing glances at her once more. Mirari, what are you doing in here, I ask. If you want to take a bath, you can do so after I finish. I lean forward in order to cover myself up as Mirari continues to come closer. The moment I do, Mirari slips into the bathtub behind me, resting her soft body against my back. Mirari, I ask? I know this isn't much, but please, says Mirari. Finally, Mirari speaks. The next moment she pulls her body back, and I can instead feel her delicate hands gently rubbing my back. I do not possess your strength, fuckboy king, nor do I share Furyu's wit or courage, Mirari informs me. I don't know this side of the mountain well. Even if I did want to go back home, I wouldn't be of much help. It seems like no matter what I do, I'm just a nuisance, Mirari says. As Mirari voices her frustrations, she begins to rub harder. That's why, if there's anything I can do, please do not hesitate to ask, Mirari says. Cooking, cleaning, washing your body for you. If it's something that's within my power, I'll do it. Mirari, I say. My heart sinks as I contemplate Mirari's words. Even without knowing the full story behind Mirari's current situation, I'm aware of just how powerless she feels. In the short time that she's been here, all I've heard from Mirari is how she appreciates what I've done for her, and how she does not want to leave. She really isn't making it easy for me to evict her. Mirari, I say, I'm glad you feel that way, but you really don't need to go this far. Go this far? Asked Mirari. I do not understand. All I'm doing is washing your back, she says. Is that strange? Furyu and I wash one another all the time. No, but you and Furyu are both girls, and you've known each other for a long time, right? I ask. But I'm... asked Mirari. Mirari tilts her head with a smile on her face. It seems that bathing with a near stranger isn't as extreme of an act for this wolf girl as it is for me. Huh? I think to myself, maybe bathing together is some kind of half-wolf custom? Just because it isn't common for humans, that doesn't mean there isn't something weird about it. Alright, do as you please, I finally say. Ah, yes, thank you very much, says Mirari. No, I say, you really don't need to go as far as to thank me. Smiling from ear to ear, Mirari picks up a bar of soap and lathers her hands and begins to rub my back once more. While she's rubbing my back with her bare hands, I occasionally feel something else slap against my back. Heavy but soft, the feeling only lasts for an instant, but it seems like every few seconds the sensation reappears once more. This is no good, I think to myself. Even if Mirari is okay with this, a guy only has so much self-control, you know what I mean? So Mirari, how's life going with the rest of your pack? I ask her, trying to make small talk. Mirari says, it's fine, I guess. If this continues, I think to myself. You and Furyu seem pretty close, I say. Have you been friends since childhood? In a way, Mirari responds. Damn it, Mirari, I think to myself. I'm trying to strike up a conversation here. For whose sake do you think I'm asking all these questions? Doing my best to suppress my own instinct, I pitch a few more topics, all of which get shot down by Mirari. Thankfully, before long... Okay, that ought to do it, Mirari says. You're done, I ask? Uh-huh, your back and shoulders are all nice and clean, she says. All that's left All that's left now is the front, Mirari says. Mirari points between my legs. Oh, right, let me just... Wait, what? I ask. Do you want me to get up and move to your front, or would you like to turn around, Mirari asks me. I'd like to know what the hell is going on, I say. I quickly cover my crotch with my hands as Mirari starts to squirm around behind my back. What are you doing, fuckboy king? I can't wash your front like this, Mirari says. You don't need to, I respond. Really, you've done enough already. I'll do the front myself, okay? Mirari shakes her head. That won't do, she says. I said that I would wash you, did I not? I can't just stop halfway through. But I'm a man, I say. I'm a real man. You shouldn't touch a man like this unless I'm what? Mirari asks. I don't know how to respond. Mirari's innocence is just too much for me to bear. How could I possibly convey to this girl the magnitude of what she just proposed? Fine, I understand, Mirari finally admits. I'll give up on trying to wash your front. For now, though. I breathe a sigh of relief as Mirari takes pity on my poor soul. However, says Mirari, now that I'm done washing you, it's your turn to do me, she says. Huh? I turn around to find that Mirari is exposing her bare back to me. It seems that it is time for me to return Mirari's favor by washing her back just as she washed mine. Oh, okay, I can do this, I think to myself. I'm just washing her back, that's all. There's nothing sexual about this. Besides, I've seen Mirari's naked body before. This won't be any different than that time when I dressed her. I'll grab some soap and wash Mirari's back, and that will be the end of it. Setting my plan into motion, I rub a bar of soap between my hands and put it back down, then place my hands on Mirari's shoulders. Ah, Mirari says. Sorry, I was just... No, it's okay, Mirari says. You were just doing what I asked you. I apologize for scaring you. It was just a surprise. Surprised, I ask? I place my hands on Mirari's shoulder once more. Mirari shakes slightly, but doesn't yelp or move away. Taking a deep breath, she tries her best to remain calm as I move my hands lower down her back. Yes, says Mirari, even knowing that you were going to touch me, I still felt nervous. The only male I've ever bathed with was my father, and that was whenever I was still too young to remember anything. You're the first male outside of my family who I've ever bathed with, Mirari says. You're also the first man to see my naked body and touch me in such a familiar manner. It seems like you're taking all of my first fuckboy king, Mirari says to me. I gulp hard as I listen to Mirari's words. My hands tremble as I caress her back, and I continue to grow more conscious of the feeling being transmitted back to me. Mirari's soft skin, completely different to my own, turns faintly white as my fingers press into her skin. Ah, that feels good, says Mirari. Your hands are strong and dexterous, fuckboy king. Yeah, I say. I guess that's from chopping firewood and shoveling snow. Life out here isn't easy, you know. I try to distract myself with conversation, but Mirari doesn't play along. She goes quiet, seemingly content to allow herself to be washed as she enjoys a hot bath. This is bad. If I keep going like this, it's only a matter of time before I pull my waist back as I react to Mirari's body. The sensation of her soft, unblemished skin, the smell of her already clean body, and the sight of her bare skin. Oh, okay, that ought to do it, I say. You're all clean now. Huh? Already, says Mirari? But you didn't even reach my butt yet. Don't tempt me, Mirari, I think to myself. I'm already on the brink of losing it here. No, I think you should do that part yourself, I say. Washing your back is one thing, but any lower, that's a bit... I blush as I avert my gaze. So, washing my lower half is no good, Mirari asks? Exactly, I say. In that case, Mirari says. Mirari begins to twist her body towards me. Will you wash my chest next? She asks me. I try to look away as Mirari's bust comes into view. Even though I've seen her naked body before, the current situation is completely different than last time. Mirari is neither cold nor shivering. She isn't a near-death mass quivering on my floor. She is a warm, flesh and blood being asking me to earnestly touch her body. I don't think that's a good idea either, I say. Why not, Mirari asks. Isn't it obvious, I ask her? I mean, there's a reason why you've never bathed with a male apart from your father, right? Yes, but we're already bathing, so what's the harm, Mirari asks me. This girl, I think to myself, ugh! I don't know if I want to hug her or push her down. Mustering my remaining self-control, I stand up and get out of the bathtub and turn around. Sorry, but you'll have to do the rest yourself, I say to her. If you need help, please call for Fudiyu instead. Huh? Fuckboy king, wait, Mirari says. Hey, Mirari says. Alright, everybody, I think I'm going to call it here for this episode. As always, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time for more Wolf Tales.